2.6, solving compound and absolute value inequalities. We can see when we have a compound inequality, this says x is greater than -4 and x is less than 3. The picture will look like this. It's going in between the two, greater than -4, less than 3. When we have a compound inequality that says x is less than or equal to -3, or x is greater than 1, it will look like this. Example 1, solve and graph the solution set. You need to focus on where the variable is. We have 2x plus 5. I need to solve this two-step equation, or I need to solve this two-step inequality. We still start the same way as an equation. We're going to subtract 5, but this time we need to do it in 3 places. You're going to cancel here. We're left with 2x. Bring down your symbols. 19 minus 5 is 14, and then -3, -5 is -8. We are down to a one-step inequality, a one-step compound inequality. If x is being multiplied by 2, I am going to divide by 2 3 times. And we have 14 divided by 2 is 7. -8 divided by 2 is -4. X is greater than or equal to -4, and x is less than 7. -4 and 7 are on the graph. Remember that if it is open, that is for less than and greater than, and it is filled in for less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. We have closed circles at -4 and 7. It says x is greater than or equal to -4, which means we're moving in this direction. X is less than or equal to 7. We are moving in the less than direction. And what happens is they meet in the middle. I can choose any solution between -4 and 7, and it will work in the equation. Example 2, we have 4. It's like having 2 separate problems. We have a 2-step equation that we're going to solve and another 2-step equation we're going to solve. We're going to start by undoing the subtraction, undo the multiplication with division, and we get y is greater than or equal to 3. Here, we're going to undo subtraction with addition to both sides of the inequality. We have 2y is less than or equal to -8. Finish undoing the multiplication with division, and we get y is less than or equal to -4. We have -4 and 3. Make sure your number line is always going from least to greatest. We have closed in circles at both 3 and -4. This says that y is greater than or equal to 3, and y is less than or equal to -4. I can pick any solution that is less than or equal to -4 or greater than or equal to 3, and it will work in both of the equations if I wanted to check my solutions. Here we have absolute value inequalities. How many answers do absolute value always have? 2. An absolute value needs to be set up. Again, we need to make sure that the absolute value is isolated. There's nothing being multiplied out front. There's nothing being added or subtracted. And how do we set it up to get our 2 answers? We are going to write down x plus 2. We're going to bring down this inequality sign with the 4. We're going to take this inequality and slide over here and have the same sign and then the opposite of this number. The opposite of 4 is -4. And now we can see that we have a compound inequality. We're going to solve for x by subtracting 2. 4 minus 2 is 2. Negative 4 and negative 2 is negative 6. And we will graph. We have negative 6, 2. They are open circles. X is less than negative 6. This is the less than direction. X is greater than 2. And this is the greater than direction. I bet you were expecting to get in between these because that's what it said on the other side for compound inequalities. You need to be careful and make sure you're reading these and graphing them correctly. It doesn't always hold true. This was an absolute value that we changed into a compound. Here we go again. The absolute value is isolated. There's nothing out front being multiplied. There's nothing behind the absolute value being added or subtracted. We're ready to set it up. 2x minus 1 is less than 5. Slide the sign over and put the opposite of 5. We have a 2-step compound inequality to solve. I'm going to start with undoing the subtraction by adding 1. 5 plus 1 is 6. Negative 5 plus 1 is negative 4. And we will finish by dividing by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. Do not forget that if you multiply or divide by a negative, you would still have to flip those inequality signs. We did not multiply or divide by a negative, so we're all set. We have negative 2 and 3, both with open circles. It says that x is greater than negative 2. That would be going to the right. X is less than 3, and that would be going to the left where they will meet in the middle.